Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to our TypeScript lessons. Today we're going on our TypeScript lessons with lesson 3. So without wasting any time, I'd like to start up our lessons. Okay, at the end of lesson 2, I have presented you this file. And right away I will show you file 15. Okay, in file 15 I will define a number variable so as to be -2, and I here make a comparison here. I assign a result, variable result, so as to be assigned as a result of this comparison, because num is compared with 0, and if the answer is yes, it's gonna be positive. If the answer is no, so it's going to be non-positive, that's to say negative. In fact, when we look at the value of this num variable, it's -2, so it's less than 0. So as a result of if num greater than 0 does not give a positive result, indeed it's indeed will give a non-positive result. So this result variable will be assigned as non-positive, and after that by means of console.log method, just I would like to make it displayed on the screen. Okay, this is our TypeScript extension file. So when I run TypeScript compiler, that's to say TSC, so just I create this file. Okay, I create this JavaScript code, and when I run this JavaScript code by means of Nodejs, so on the screen there's displayed non-positive message. And how about our TypeScript demo file 16? Okay, I here just would like to show you an example of type of method. In fact, I here define a number variable as well as to 12, and after that just I query about its type by means of using this type of, and of course it's gonna say number when I run this one. Okay, I create TypeScript JavaScript extended file, and it says number. Actually here it's already hidden a number declaration. In fact, how about this one? Okay, this is another example. I here define a variable and its type also number, and this is assigned as 5 or initialized as 5, and I here by means of if comparison, I make a comparison, logical comparison here, relational comparison, sorry, and if num greater than 0, so 0 is gonna be calling this log method, console log method, and number is positive, will be displayed on the screen. And in order to save time, just I compiled it previously, and I here show you, and after that print execute this file, and number is positive. Actually, this number is positive. Message is displayed on the screen. And how about 18? TypeScript 18. Here define another num variable here, so as to be a number 12. And I here make a comparison so as to find out whether it is even or odd. For this reason, just I can use modulo arithmetic divided by 0. So in case the remaining is equals to 0, that means it's an even number. Otherwise, if divided by 2 will give a remaining different from 0, so it means it's an odd number in fact. So we know it's an even number. So as a result of this comparison, let's give even. And I would like to run this one in order to show you. Okay, that means this JavaScript code is somehow a little bit different from yeah, it's the same. Okay, and when I run this one, it's gonna give even. Okay, actually 12 is an even number. And what about 19? 19, the file 19 just is an example for if, else if, and else command. And here I define my variable num as so as to be 2, and I here define a comparison. If number greater than 0, that means okay, do this. Else if number less than 0, that means this is a negative, and else or default condition is gonna be say that number is neither positive nor negative. In fact, it's 2 and it's a positive number. So after the first comparison here, it's gonna directly go here this method, and number is 2 is positive will be displayed on the screen. And when I compile this one, just I create this okay, and when I run this one, two is positive is displayed on the screen. How about demo file 20? Demo file 20 here just is an example for switch example, and I construct a switch structure here, switch, and this is the variable case A, case B, case C, case D, and default case. And I would like to attract your attention here. After each case comparison, a case branching, you have to use a break keyword, otherwise the program will go on afterwards to below. And for example here I define a grade variable so as to be A, and there is some comparisons so as to find out what it is in fact. In case A, do this, that means excellent. In fact, there is no necessity to look for the other alternatives. And After compiling our TypeScript command, we obtain JavaScript, relevant JavaScript, and it's here, excellent. And when I run this one, excellent will be displayed. Once again, I would like to repeat this important thing. This is important. After each case branching, you have to use break and semicolon, in fact. How about 21st TS file? I here would like to give an example of factorial calculation, and this is the number that's going to be calculated, the factorial calculated, and I stands for index. Of course, it's another number, and I here define factorial is factorial as 1, and I here I construct a for loop, and starting from the number, okay, I step by step decrease the value of index number or I, and in case it is greater or equal to 1, it's gonna continue this factorial calculation, and factorial calculation is quite easy to understand. Factorial means I multiply factorial, and at the end of this loop performance, just we obtain the value of factorial, and after that, by means of this console log method, I simply make it displayed on the screen. This is the relevant JavaScript file, and when I run this one, we would probably get 120 result. Okay, 120. How about file 20, yes, 22 TypeScript. Here it's another example for indexing. Just I define two variables such as j and n, and their type any, and it's another type any also. However, the next one n is assigned as a, b, c, and for I here construct a for in loop here. J as long as j in a, j in n, and do this. This is translated in English like this: as long as j in n, do this. And for each step, and brackets j will be assigned, and when I run this one, I create a relevant JavaScript file, okay, and the similar code will be obtained as a result of this compilation, and this is repeated for n times, okay, and when I run this one, okay, ABC will be printed just when I make a little bit, okay, A, B, and C will be displayed on the screen because it's gonna repeat it 3 times. J in N, J will be repeated for 3 times for A, B, and C. How about TypeScript 23? Okay, I here give an example for factorial, another type of factorial, in fact. Once again, I define a number so as to be initialized as 5, So we're looking for finding out the factorial of 5, in fact, and this is the factorial number initially is initialized as 1, and I this time use a while loop in order to calculate the relevant factorial, and while num greater or equal to 1, so do this. This is translated like this, and just I'd like to attention I'd like your attention this one, curly brackets, and factorial equals to factorial times num at first equals to 5, so 1 multiplied by 5 equals to 5, and after that num variable number is decreased 1, so that means num becomes 4, and next time it's multiplied by 4, and another next time 3, 2, and when it is 1 or 1, it stops, and we have already obtained the factorial number of 5, and by means of this method we simply print out the factorial of 5, and this is the relevant JavaScript code. Okay, the factorial is, this is the paraphrasing expression, is 120, is displayed on the screen. Okay, one more, okay, 24 TS. I here define a variable here, and I this time would like to show you a do while loop, and within the frame of do loop, console log will be print out, and after that will be decreased. That's to say 10, 9, 8, 6, 7 will be displayed on the screen up to 1, down to 1, sorry, and that means as long as do this as long as n greater or equal to 0. So when I run this JavaScript corresponding file, we get this listed number starting with 10, so it's decreased by 1 at each step. So at the end of this decrement operation, it is compared with 0, and it is greater or equal to 0. Do this, that is translated like this, and 0 is printed out, displayed out, and our do loop will come to an end. Okay, you guys, we have so far okay, we have displayed so far 10 files, and in order to save time, I just skipped compilation process most of the examples, and I directly show to you the relevant JavaScript file, and as you see, TypeScript and JavaScript is very similar to each other. However, TypeScript have much larger, much loose syntax rules. That's the way most of the developers, most of the software developers prefer TypeScript for developing dynamic web pages, web sites. That's the end of this course, you guys. I will go on this English version for the next days. Thanks for your watching, and thanks for your time. Bye now.